Hello everyone, I wanted to talk to you about fidget spinners for a quick second. This is a fidget spinner that I bought from the flea market yesterday. The reason I bought it was because I wanted the bearings. There's normally 3 bearings on the outer lobes and 1 in the center. Most of the fidget spinners use a 22 millimeter by 8 by 7 bearing. 608 RS is the common number for it. Very, very, very popular and common bearing. Now I bought this, because I made myself some fidget spinners. Actually, I made them for my daughter. I like doing cool things for her, makes her know that I care about her, and, just that way she can have some cool stuff. But either way, what disappointed me was, you see that galling in here? This is brand new from the factory. It was sealed in the package. Garbage. These are used bearings. At least they appear to be used. You can see the discoloration here. These are used bearings that were put into this brand new fidget spinner. This one here has a dust shield that's messed up. Now, these you can pop out the dust shield, and they're so cheap. That's just kind of a garbage dust shield, but they are plastic metal hybrid bearings. They don't seem to be ceramic, but nevertheless, they do spin pretty freely. Just need to be cleaned up. So these bearings will do what I needed to do. What I needed to do is work for the fidget spinners that I made. This is 1/4-inch plate aluminum, and I drew it out. It's just a triangle, drilled it, pressed in a bearing. So I'm going to replace this bearing so that way it will spin better. You can see there's some debris in there and it's catching. So that bearing's toast. This one is kind of cool. I made it and it spins nicely. I wanted my daughter to have a fidget spinner that was unique, that no one else would have, while somebody else may have one very similar. This is a one of a kind. I made it. And as you can see, it's spinning pretty nicely. Nice bearings. Keeps going. I did take, and this was just a sheet of plate steel, and I cut it out, smoothed the edges out, drilled all these holes, measured them to make sure they were pretty even. I chamfered the little edges here so that way when you spin the spinner, you would be able to see the glint of light. And see, that looks kind of cool. You can see the glint that's coming off the chamfers. So there you go, homemade fidget spinner. At one point, I did actually machine down a shouldered piece of brass, and this was really hard to machine because the machines that we have really aren't designed for this. And I made another one that went on the outside, and of course it had a countersunk screw that held it. So this ultimately kind of pop these off. Ultimately looked like this, but it was closer and it was kind of cool looking. But I'm just going to use the plastic, finger holders that came with the cheap $3 spinner. So if you want to make yourself a spinner, it's not that complicated. Just buy a cheap donor one, make one for yourself, find whatever design you like, and there you go. You can have a unique homemade finger spinner. This took me maybe a couple hours to make. Wasn't a big deal. Really all you need is a, I think it was a 55/64 drill bit. I forget what it was. Or, the same size drill bit as the outside race size. And you just want it to be snug, so that way you can just press it in. And if you need, you put a little bit of super glue on it to hold. This one is pretty snug. It didn't need super glue to hold it, and you really have to press it out, and it's not too hard to press out. You can do it with your fingers, but you want there to be enough friction. So there you go, homemade fidget spinner. It's not the fanciest, not the neatest, but now my daughter has a really cool fidget spinner that none of her friends will have one quite like it. Thanks for letting me share. $3 fidget spinner, you can turn it into a unique one of a kind.